Is this the craziest PBA season of all time? I had a thought the other day where I wondered what the craziest PBA season of all time was. You know, a season where the unexpected seems to happen over and over again. A season where there are surprise winners, historic wins, and everything else in between. Of course, the PBA is packed full of moments throughout the years that are very iconic, but I think I have found one season in PBA history that is one of the most surprising of all time. And that is the 2009-2010 season. Now this is going to be a little bit of a different video to normal, and what I'm going to do is a bit of a recap of the season tournament by tournament, and we can look together at everything that happened throughout the season. The 2009-2010 season had 19 title events, which was 2 less than the previous season, but there was also quite a big change to begin the season. The PBA held the first ever World Series of Bowling, and it would kick the season off with 9 title events during the World Series. All of these events were held in Allen Park in Michigan, except for the finals of the World Championship, which were held 3 months after in Wichita. At the time, bringing in the World Series was obviously a huge change, but looking at how popular the event is to this day, clearly it was a smart move. Essentially, it split the season up into 2, with the World Series running from August till December. Then there was a holiday break, followed by the second half of the season. The first event of the World Series was the Motor City Open, and it was won by no other than Walter Ray Williams Jr., who captured his 46th tour title during a very close title match against Chris Barnes, who pretty much lost this one due to missing the 3-6-9-10 in the 9th. Then we had the Animal Pattern Tournament, starting with the Cheetah Championship, which saw Norm Duke defeat Ryan Simonelli. This tournament had a fantastic format with a best of 7 head-to-head match right through to the championship match. Norm managed to come back from a pretty big deficit in Game 2 to tie things up, and would then go on a tear and win this in 5. And the PBA released a fantastic 1-hour documentary style telecast of this event, which is definitely worth checking out. Next up was the Viper Championship, which was won by Rhino Page for his 3rd title. Then the Chameleon, which was notable as it was won by Bill O'Neill for his first ever title, which took him 81 tournaments and 11 TV appearances to win. The Scorpion saw Mike Devaney win his 2nd title, and finally the Shark was won by Jack Jurek for his 2nd title. So as you can see, there is a theme from all of these Animal Pattern winners, and it was that they were all guys who hadn't won a lot of titles at that point in their career. And this was a very good thing, as it just added variety, and I suppose that's the nature of these very different patterns. It opens things up as each pattern is going to suit different types of players more than others. So it's very interesting that apart from Walter Ray winning the opening event, the rest of the World Series titles were won by quote-unquote lesser known guys. To cap the series off, we had the World Championship, the first major of the season. Tom Smallwood, who was unemployed at the time, decided to shoot his shot at becoming a pro bowler. He managed to earn his tour card after finishing 3rd in the tour trials. His performance throughout the World Series saw him qualify for the World Championship, and he would make the telecast as the 2 seed. He comfortably defeated Bill O'Neill in the semi-final, and then shocked everyone by defeating reigning Player of the Year Wes Malott in the title match 244 to 228. And as we all know, this wasn't just a flash in the pan, as Smallwood has since carved out a solid pro career for himself, but at the time this achievement was huge, and what a way it was to round off the first half of the season. At the time, I think the PBA would have been extremely happy with how this inaugural World Series went. Now we head into 2010, and there were 4 events in January alone. The first was the Pepsi Red, White and Blue Open, which was won by Southpaw Mike Scroggins. Then there was the Earl Anthony Memorial, which was won by Anthony Lacaze for his first and only ever PBA title. And by the way, doesn't Lacaze have a really nice, smooth and no-nonsense style? The third event of January was the second major of the season, the Tournament of Champions. And this was the TOC that was famously won by Kelly Kulick to become the first female to ever win a PBA title. So already, I hope you're starting to see what I meant at the start of this video, that this was one of the craziest seasons of all time. The last event of January 2010 was the one-a-day Dick Webber Open, and this was won by Mike Fagan for his second title after he defeated Walter Ray by striking out in the 9th and 10th frames. But Walter's disappointment wouldn't last long as he won the very next event, and it was a major, the USBC Masters. This win was his 47th title and 8th major. Oh, and by the way, he was 50 years of age at this point. And to top it all off, he won in real style, bowling a 290 game against Chris Barnes. A week after this event, we had some mixed doubles action, and this gave Brian Voss the opportunity to win again, marking his 25th tour title, as he took this event down alongside his partner, Deandra Asbati. A week after that, we had the final major of the year, the US Open, and it would be the real deal Bill O'Neill who was victorious, inspired by winning his first ever title earlier that season. Now we're quickly getting through the season, and the Player of the Year race was heating up. Mike Scroggins put himself right into contention after winning his second title of the season at the Don Johnson Eliminator, and we'll find out whether Scroggins managed to take home Player of the Year shortly. Believe it or not, we had another first-time winner in Brian Kretzer, who won the Go RVing Match Play Championship. The second to last event was a really fun one, and something that I wish the PBA would bring back, the Plastic Ball Championship, where, you guessed it, all players could only use a plastic ball. And this event was won by yet another first-time titleist, this time amateur player Brian Zyzig. And finally, we have reached the last event of the season, the Marathon Open, and this was very significant for the Player of the Year race. Mike Scroggins was the 1 seed, and if he won, he would secure Player of the Year. If he lost, the award would go to Walter Ray Williams Jr., but Scroggins would be denied a third title of the season by Pete Webber, who broke a 3-year title drought. And wow, what a season that was. It basically had everything. Huge changes to the tour, so many first-time winners, amateurs winning titles, legends cementing their place in the history books, and the first ever female winner. It's pretty incredible that all of these things happened in one season, and I'm going to look back in the history books at some point and see if I can find another season like this one. If you'd like me to do a similar video to this one, then just let me know in the comments which PBA season you'd like to see me do a recap of. That's going to do it from me for today, and if you have enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you everyone for your support, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.